Hello and welcome to a video all about how to apply for teacher training in the UK in 2023. Now I have previously made a video about this when the update came in, I think 2021, but there has been some changes, so I want to go through those with you. Now, just as a disclosure, if you are applying from abroad, somewhere maybe where you need to apply for a visa to come and train in the UK, or your qualifications are different to those in England, I'm not going to go through those because I'm not gonna lie, that's not my area of expertise. I'm not really sure about the ins and outs of that. That will require research on your behalf. But what I am going to show you is the process of application. So where do you find the website of how to apply for teacher training? You know, what's included in the application, and we're also going to look at the personal statement, which is the big change for 2023. So without further ado, hello, my name is Miss Paris. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. On my channel, you can find tips, advice, and information all about teaching, as well as being able to follow along with my own personal journey. So if you are looking to train as a primary school teacher, or maybe even secondary, there will be some things that will be applicable to both key stages. Go and have a look at my PGCE playlist, go and familiarize yourself a little bit, and if you like the content that you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this with people that you think would benefit from watching this video. So let's get started. How do you find the teacher training application in the UK? So the first thing you're going to do, nice and easy, is you are just going to write in Google teacher training applications UK 2023. Teacher training applications UK 2023, and you're going to scroll down just a little bit and you're going to see gov.uk, so it has to be a gov.uk website, and it says apply for teacher training, and here you're going to just press start. So you can see that this service is for teacher training courses in England, but you can also find more about Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. You just press on the hyperlink and then it brings you to that as well. There are some differences between them in terms of, for example, PGCE. PGDE is more common in Scotland, for example, or in Wales they have like the Welsh curriculum. There are some differences. So if you're coming from abroad, decide which country you'd like to train in. Let's pretend we're going to be teacher training in England. We're going to press start now. So I've kind of made up an account with my email because obviously I'm a qualified primary school teacher, so I don't need to do this. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through this, but obviously if you don't and you need to create an account, you would press accordingly. If you do have an account, it says here that you can sign in with an email address, which is nice because that means you don't have to complete your whole teacher training application in one go. So you can save it, you can resume at different times, because obviously you want to take the time with your personal statement, for example, or you might have to find your previous examination grades, so you don't feel pressured to do it all in one go, which I think is great. Now I said yes, I already have an account, and then it will say check your email, and then afterwards, just like so many other websites, there is a link that you're going to press on just to confirm your identity, and yeah, then you can log in and do the whole process. Now, as you can see, I've logged in and it says application for courses starting in 2023-2024 academic year are closed. Now, obviously it also says last save on 21st of September. I was having a nosy in preparation for this video, but you have now a list of all the different sections that you need to complete. So you have personal information, you've got contact information, English GCSE or equivalent, Maths GCSE or equivalent, A-levels and degree. So for qualifications, they want you to have a certain grade in English GCSE, Maths GCSE, and A-levels and other qualifications. That's just for you to input. But you also need to be careful, because if you want to become a primary school teacher, they normally want a science GCSE as well. I'm not sure if that's changed since, but I haven't heard of any updates there. And degree, unless you are completing a degree which has a QTS at the end. Very often if you're doing a postgraduate teacher training qualification, such as the PGCE, you will have already had a degree in something. If you're doing secondary, it normally has to be a degree that's related to the secondary subject you're trying to teach. Work history, unpaid experience, which is nice that they kind of separate it, because obviously voluntary experience can say a lot about you as a person, but you're not necessarily hired. And your personal statement. You've also got things in terms of asking for support or interview availability, safeguarding, references to be requested, and any safeguarding issues, and then equality and diversity questions. So obviously some of these are going to be quicker than others to complete. If we look at the personal information, for example, you've got first names, last names, date of birth, and then afterwards it just kind of continues. These are all very self-explanatory. There shouldn't be anything that kind of throws you off. If you then look on contact information, and I just pressed on it and it showed my number, and it won't let me remove my number, so I'm not going to show you that. But contact information asks for your email, phone number, things like that. English GCSE or equivalent. And if you are applying from abroad and you're not sure of the equivalent, there is a button that says qualification from outside the UK, and then you can enter it in. So I like that they're becoming a little bit more flexible there, because I don't think they always had this button. I don't remember seeing it, this option. You do have access here. The thing that I wanted to show you, because I want to keep this video concise and clear for you, is this personal statement section. Now, I would advise you to really think about this personal statement, because depending on where you're applying to, depending on what university or what skip provider, the places can be competitive. I know that I decided fairly late on in the year that I wanted to apply for teacher training, and I think it was April, May that I secured my place, but the local skip providers near me, they started doing their interviews in like October, November, so there were no spaces free. So this can be fairly competitive, and this is your opportunity to stand out. Now, in previous years, so if you watch my previous video, you'll notice that they split the personal statement into part 1 and part 2, but now they have just squashed it all together into one personal statement. And you'll notice that actually you should write between 500 and 1,000 words. It's really not much. When you start applying for teaching jobs, you have a limit of maybe 2 sides of A4 or 2,000 words. So it can be difficult to include as many of these bullet points as possible in your statement in the word count. So come off of this, save it, take your time in thinking about what you want to say, and make sure that you don't waste those words talking about someone else. Make sure you don't waste those words making claims and not backing it up. If you say that you are perfect for a certain age group, or you'd love to teach a certain subject in secondary school, and then you don't extend on it, or you don't give any background as to why you're interested in it, then it just kind of falls on deaf ears. Think about it. Take your time, redraft it, edit it. I help with personal statements. I've done personal statement coaching, personal statement proofreading. So also, if English isn't your first language and you're maybe worried that you're not coming off as eloquently as you might like, that is something I can help with as well. Just message me. My Instagram details are in the description below. But yes, take your time with it, because this is the difference between inviting you for an interview or maybe not. Personal statements, skills that you have that are relevant to teaching. If you've never been in a classroom, think about those transferable skills that you might have. Any experience of working with young people, this could be paid or voluntary. For secondary school teaching, your interest in the subject, your understanding of why teaching is important, and try and avoid cliches on this one. Try not to go, oh, because we can shape the world. Yes, it's true. Yes, we can influence the next generation, but try and think of more unique things. Because if you are a teaching provider that has read maybe hundreds of these continuously, you're not going to stand out. Your reasons for wanting to train to be a teacher, again, try and avoid the cliches such as I love kids. It's not that unique. Hopefully everyone going into teaching loves working with younger people. Any activities you've done that could be relevant to teaching, like first aid, sports coaching, or volunteering, all really good. And again, sports coaching, unless you want to be a PE teacher, it might not seem that relevant, but there are loads of transferable skills in there. So if we go back to your details, you've then got, again, work history, unpaid experience, and all of these, they are quite quick to fill out. It's kind of yes or no. If it's no and you continue, literally that's almost done. You just have to say, yes, I've completed the section, no, I'll come back to it. Obviously, if there are things you want to write, then you fill in the rest. Continuing, safeguarding, equality and diversity, really quick, really self-explanatory to go through. Then afterwards, when you look at your applications, which is the other tab that's just above here, it says you can add up to 4 applications at a time, which, if my memory serves me correctly, is one more than previously, which is good. You will not be able to submit applications until you have completed your details, which is here. And like I said, courses can fill up quickly. They've literally written that on here. So you should apply as soon as you can rather than putting it off. So that's why I'm making this video now, because if I remember correctly, most applications kind of open tomorrow, which is the 10th of October, and I'm recording this on the 9th. So I'm trying to help you guys out here. So here you also have a link that I actually find is quite helpful if you're unfamiliar or new to this whole process. It says read how the application process works. So let's have a look. 3rd of October, you can start finding postgraduate teacher training courses you might want to apply to. And this is the big one, 10th of October, start applying to the courses. You can apply to up to 4. So you really need to be selective, because you need to think, right, which ones are close to me? Which ones do I like? If you are coming from abroad, then I actually feel, you know, I don't envy you for this task, because there are so many out there to choose from. I think in my town, which isn't even a city, it's a town, there are 2 or 3 courses, I think. So if you've got a limit of 4 and you have the whole country to select from, also consider things in mind like living costs. What is the area like? How easy is it to find accommodation? Because all these things are going to come into play. And if you are doing a primary teacher training course, there is no funding available to you. You could get a maintenance loan, but you can't necessarily get funding, whereas for some secondary school subjects, they give you kind of a bursary or more financial help, which I know isn't fair. Don't shoot the messenger. So here, if you're not sure where to find the postgraduate teacher training courses, let's press on this link and you can see what it's like. So first thing you can do is find courses by location or by training provider. There are different routes into teaching, which I'm not going to go about here. I will link a video down below, because you've got things like applying for teacher training via university, so you have lectures and seminars and you've got different placements. Or there is a school direct route, which is where you spend most of your time in a school and then you'll have maybe one-off training days or a training day a week. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. It depends on how you like to learn and whether you want to be stuck in straight away or you want some of that extra background knowledge before you're put into a placement. So yes, you've got all of these options, and depending on what you do, let's say we'll go across England. Which age group do you want to teach? I'm going to say primary, because I'm a primary school teacher. With any specialisms, I speak French, so let's say modern languages. Do you have the right to work or study in the UK? Again, this is important to establish beforehand. Yes, find courses. So thankfully, you know, modern languages isn't a very popular specialism in England, so there's only 7 courses for me to choose from, so I only have 3 to eliminate. Alternatively, you have filters here that can make it easier for you, but if you go back, just to kind of scare you a little bit, if I change this to across England primary and I say no specialisms, you're going to see how many courses there are to choose from. 1009. So you can see why they kind of gave you this option to look at providers a week before applying, because if you wanted to go from 1009 courses to selecting 4, it's a big job. I guess if you do need a visa sponsorship, you need to select this button here, and that will obviously filter down a lot of them for you, which I think is helpful rather than having to go through each one. But you've got things like universities here, like this one says York St John University, and then here you have things like a skip partnership. So you've got lots of different things here to choose from. Once you've made those 4 selections and you've completed all your details, which is back on this tab here, all your details, then that's when you can finally select those 4 and you can apply to them. The next stage then would be those courses reviewing your application, and if they're interested, then you would be selected for an interview. Now, with this interview, every single provider can ask something different. One might ask you to do a little task with 4 children, another might ask you to do it with 10 children, one might be for a year 1 year group, one might be for a year 4 year group, one might be on a book, one might be, it could be anything. You will probably get an interview, you might get a group interview. There really are variations between what they might ask you, so I can't give you an exact answer on that. But yeah, that's the stage afterwards. If you then go back to that timeline, so 10th of October is when you can start applying to courses. The 17th of October is actually the last day to submit any applications. Now, 17th of September is obviously ages away, but the thing is there will be reduced amount of courses that still have spaces left for you. So yes, you can do it up to this time, but once the course is full up, that's it. Like, they don't just keep taking in applications, they will close it off. And then 25th of September is the last day for training providers to make a decision before you can start. So as you can see, there's a huge space lapse between 10th of October and 17th, but I would recommend you to get on this ASAP. Don't dawdle. Start filling in the things that are easy to do, the yes, no, the personal details, and then afterwards spend time on your personal statement. Because even if you spend nearly a month on it, it's still only the beginning of November when you submit that, and there will still be lots of courses that are doing interviews, still have loads and loads of spaces. So yes, get there early because also you're more likely to stand out. If you found this video useful, then please do go ahead and subscribe. Go and check out those other videos. Share this video. But yes, I really, really appreciate it because I do these videos just to help you guys out. And any comments, likes, subscribes are always very appreciated. Good luck with your application. Any help, just message me. My Instagram and other social media links are always in the description below. I will try and remember to link that other video for you guys, and obviously take care and check in again soon. Bye!